Werewolf lore dates back to the 15th century, and it spread like wildfire in Europe with colonization. Seldom talked about those days, just like the trials of witches, there was trials of werewolves. It's amazing to see how much we've evolved since then, or have we? But I ask you to name good werewolf movies, and you are likely to have several fingers left over when you count through your list. So we're about to add one to your list. This is Dave from nERD, accompanied by my wife Jenn, and we are welcoming you to the Popcorn Confessionals, 31 Days of Halloween. And what film are we talking about? Dog Soldiers. So fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
A group of soldiers are sent deep in the woods on a training mission when they come across a special forces camp that has been ransacked. One survivor warns that there was only supposed to be one of them. And as the soldiers try to get more information, they're attacked by a pack of creatures that force them to seek solace in a cabin in the woods in an attempt to fight and hopefully survive.
Cabin in the Woods? That's never good.
Nah.
Never good.
I just stay away from those.
Yeah. Just stay away from the Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
So as we mentioned at the top of the introduction, or at the end of the introduction, we are doing 31 horror films. We brought it up in some of our reviews. There is going to be no rating. We'll leave that to you, the viewers, to drop that in the comments and let us know what you think about our recommendations for this month. So it'll be 31 Halloween movies. Hopefully 31 different horror t-shirts.
You better not have that many.
I don't yet. So Dog Soldiers. Like I mentioned, it's very hard to pick out werewolf movies. Everybody always goes to the American Werewolf in London and The Howling, and then you don't really hear anything about other werewolf movies.
Silver Bullet.
I know you know of Silver Bullet.
A lot of people know of Silver Bullet.
I don't hear anybody ever mention Silver Bullet in a conversation.
Okay, well, people know Silver Bullet. They know Stephen King.
This film, before we break into the review, is done by Neil Marshall. He did Descent 1 and 2.
Great movies.
Yes, great movies. Very good movies. If you haven't seen them, Descent Part 1 will be on our reviews.
He also wrote the second one.
He did Tales of Halloween, and he did the new Hellboy. So, what did you think about Dog Soldiers?
I liked it. So it took me a little bit into the film to get into it.
You know what? That's the funny thing about this one, because when it begins, you have. We're not going to dive too much into it, but when it begins, it starts with a little bit of a backstory with the one guy, and then it fast forwards to the special force ops dropping down for the training missions, and it kind of seems a little campy. I don't know if it was done on purpose, and if it was, bravo.
Yeah.
So that kind of in the beginning kind of gets I don't know.
Yeah, in the beginning I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this, but I ended up enjoying the movie. I liked the acting and I liked the comedy that they threw in there. I think it's always good when you're in a serious situation. You got to have the person who makes everyone laugh, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought that was good, and I did like the twist at the end, though I kind of saw that coming, but I did like it.
Did you see it coming the first time?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Stupid me.
Women's intuition.
I guess so. Now, with this movie here, too, the werewolves actually look decent. They're not horrible looking like you see in some movies, you know, so that was really good. And the cinematography in a lot of the shots were really good, too, because there's this scene around a car while the werewolf was walking up alongside it, and you see his teeth and the drool come down. It's like, oh my god, that's such a great scene. It's almost on that favorite scene of mine in Jaws.
Yeah.
This was a very good scene. So
yeah. I wouldn't want to be in the car when that was happening.
No, not at all. Good acting, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Action was good. The werewolves look really great.
Mm-hmm.
Some good creep factor in there. Gore, medium, I would say on this, medium gore level.
Yeah, it was. You know what? It was a really dark film. So a lot of it was shot at night, and then what wasn't shot at night, they were inside, but they were trying to keep the lights off so as not to be seen. So it was very dark anyway. So a lot of anything that would have been really gory, you don't see it like full on.
Now, what's different from other werewolf films, aside from The Howling, really, is this is a pack of werewolves. Instead of just having the one, and then he bites somebody, and then he turns into a werewolf, and the other guy dies. None of that stuff in this. So this was a pack of werewolves versus special ops forces, and I thought that was a nice, refreshing take on the genre.
Yeah.
We should get some more werewolf movies. We don't have enough of those out there.
Yeah, they don't.
You know what I think a lot of it falls down to? CGI versus practical effects. And this didn't have to rely on CGI to do the werewolves. It was practical effects, and it works.
Yeah.
Practical effects still work. And if you watch the last episode of 5 Things for the Halloween special, you'll hear why, because we talked about it there too.
So, some fun facts about the movie. Jason Statham was originally slated to play the lead role, but he dropped out to do John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars.
What a horrible decision that was.
Yeah, that's what they said. And then at some point, the person who took his spot cracked his ribs while filming and didn't want to tell them. And then when he finally did, he got replaced back by Jason Statham, but then he healed and he was able to finish the role.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got really, really close to seeing Jason Statham.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm wondering if Jason Statham might have done like a few scenes while he was, because with it being dark, you may not know.
I think I know the character too.
Yeah, it was the main guy, and he does kind of look like Jason Statham. They look very similar. Yeah. So, and the role of Spoon, which was the comedic guy, was offered to Simon Pegg. But he declined because he had not yet done a role. And he made a promise to Edgar Wright that his first film would be Shaun of the Dead. So he held on to his promise, and he turned down the role in Dog Soldiers.
I wonder if the two of them were in this film, if it would be more popular in the horror genre right now.
I think so, because I think that as time went on, it would have gained popularity amongst, new generations or whatever because of who was in it.
If you like the movie Thing a little bit, tell me if you feel this. There is that little bit of a tension amongst the group about a werewolf possibly being amongst their midst. Yeah. It doesn't come out right away, but you kind of get that sense that there's something going on within the group and they don't really trust somebody. And they'll explain why when you watch the movie. But it is worth checking out.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what werewolf movies do you like? Is it American Werewolf in London? Is it the Howling franchise? Is it Silver Bullet, which is very good? Is it Bad Moon? Is it Cursed? Is it this one? Is it Ginger Snaps? There's some out there. Not many are good. Again, you're going to have fingers left over because I do when I count them. And so let us know what you think. Maybe there's a werewolf movie that I did not mention that is really good. You guys have seen it. Let us know so we can go watch it because there's not much out there that I know of that's decent for these type of films. And as we mentioned, no ratings for this series here for Halloween, but we want to know what your rating is for this film. So put those in the comments. Did you like this film? Is it garbage? Was it too campy in the beginning and you turned it off? Let us know what you think.
And don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on the notifications, and share. Share with everyone you know.
Yeah, it's Halloween time. Let's have some fun.
Yes.
Until tomorrow. See ya.
See ya.